Hi guys, I'm live. So something told me a random um, impromptu music theory lesson. I have some ideas I'd like to express in this. So I don't have a guitar in my hand. I'm out on my long walk, but I just thought I could give you guys an impromptu music theory lesson. What the heck, you know? Thanks for listening. If you do, first of all, I want to talk about love you, rock on, man, rock on, rock on. I want to talk about masculine versus feminine, yin and yang type of thing in music theory, and particularly I want to bring up the tritone, which is the diminished fifth / augmented fourth. It's literally called the tritone because a tone is 2 half steps, and 3 of them is 6 half steps, and 6 half steps divides the octave perfectly in half because the octave is 12 half steps, and 6 is half of 12. And that's also called the devil music interval, but whatever. It's short. In short, we call it the tritone a lot of the time. Okay, so masculine has to do with moving up in fifths, and usually up in groups of even numbers, like 2 and 4, sometimes even 6, because 2 and 4, 6 are all even numbers. And usually it's up in fifths. So if you go up, let's say you go up twice. I said that's an even number. 2 is an even number. You get a whole step. And whole step is a classically masculine sort of interval. Then if you go up, the next even number is 4. If you go up 4 perfect fifths, you get a major third. And that is also a masculine interval. And then if you go up 3, if you go up a tritone, that can be a masculine interval because that's 3 whole steps, and whole step is a masculine interval, and also 6 is an even number when 2 and 2 make 6. So one view of the tritone is that it's masculine because it's 3 whole steps, and that means going up 5 perfect fifths. Going up 6 perfect fifths, and that gives you a tritone. Now the feminine nature, which I'm really attracted to. If it weren't for the feminine in music, I'd probably drop out. I would just drop out right now if that were the whole story. But the feminine brings in the balance. The feminine is the upper perfect fourth, and it's more multiples of 3. So 3 is an odd number and 6 is an even number, but it's still a multiple of 3. So it can be. That's what the tritone can be, masculine or feminine. I'm going to get to in a minute. But 3 is an odd number, and so if you go up 3 perfect fourths, you get a minor third, and minor third is a classically feminine interval, and the minor third is really beautiful. In fact, it's a combination of a major third and a minor third that make a perfect triad. Whether it's minor or major depends on which one's below the other one pitch-wise. In other words, if you go up a major third and up a minor third, it's a major triad. If you go up a minor third and up a major third, it's a minor triad. But you still have the major minor, either way, interplay and combination that makes the perfect or sonorous or consonant triad or 3-note structure in musical harmony. So then you see that the tritone can also be feminine, because if you go up 2 minor thirds, you get a tritone as well, and that's up to that's a multiple of 3. So looked at that way, the tritone is also a feminine interval because it can be 2 minor thirds, which makes it feminine, in fact doubly feminine, or it can be 3 whole steps, which makes it masculine as well. And that ambiguity is the beauty of the devil in music interval. It's not only supposedly dissonant, but that's a matter of taste. I could say it's not, who you couldn't prove me wrong, but it's ambiguous. It can be masculine or feminine. It's the only interval that really plays it that way. And that's a cool interval, and I like it. And I like the interplay between masculine and feminine in music. If it weren't for, and in fact, you even see it in the scale, number of notes and scales. Like diatonic scales have 7 notes. That could be considered masculine. Whereas because up a perfect fifth is up 7 half steps, so that's a masculine type of thing. Whereas the pentatonic scale has 5 notes, and up a perfect fourth, which is the feminine thing, is up 5 half steps because a perfect fourth is 5 half steps. And just like 7 notes and 5 notes makes a 12-note chromatic scale, a 7-note interval perfect fifth and a 5-note interval perfect fourth make an octave 12-note 12 half-step interval. So the same interplay that goes in intervals also can go in the number of notes in the scales, pentatonic versus diatonic scales, perfect fifth versus a perfect fourth, and so forth. And of course, up perfect fourth is down a perfect fifth, and up a perfect fifth is down a perfect fourth. You know that. But just for simplicity, we're considering upward. So I like that little interplay I just talked about. And the next thing I'd like to talk about, this is the second topic I want to bring up, and then that should do it, is the snake charmer scale. The Richie Blackmore's famous snake charmer scale. I don't know how famous it is, but I know about it. Richie Blackmore's snake charmer scale. And the fifth mode of it is what I call Gothic major scale. I'd like to talk about that. So just bear with me. Hopefully we can get through this. Okay, so a snake charmer scale is a harmonic minor scale with a raised fourth. So if you're in A, starting with Aeolian, the harmonic minor note is the major seventh note, which is the G sharp, and the fourth note, the raised four note, would be a D sharp. So you have basically an Aeolian mode with a G sharp and a D sharp, and that basically, the intervals there are whole step, half step, augmented step, half step, half step, augmented step, half step. So you have two augmented seconds, an harmonic equivalent of minor third, but we're calling them augmented seconds here because there's no note between them. And that's Richie Blackmore's snake charmer scale. It's really pretty to play, and it's even beautiful geometry on the fretboard as well. Now, before I go, you could also think of it in a flatted sense as you could start with a major scale and see what you have to do to get a snake charmer scale. Let's do that just for the hell of it. Well, first of all, if you start with a C major scale, to make a C harmonic major scale, you flat the sixth, which is A flat. So you have A flat. But then to make it a harmonic minor scale, you have to make an E flat, because a harmonic major scale with a flatted third is a harmonic minor scale. So a C major scale with a flat and an E flat is a harmonic minor scale. But then I said that for the snake charmer scale, you have to have a sharp 4. Well, what do you do to a major scale to make it a sharp 4? You make it a Lydian mode. So then again, if you have a Lydian mode with an A flat and an E flat, you would have, that's another way of saying that you have a snake charmer scale. So like an F snake charmer scale would be an F Lydian mode with a flat third and a flat sixth, which in this case would be A flat and flat sixth and D flat, which is what I think I said originally. It would, wait, let me think. Wait, F sharp, no, an F Lydian mode. Oh, yeah. Would have to. Love you, man. Love you. Would have to have. Oh, I get it now. Oh, I get it. Okay, so you would have to have an F Lydian mode with an A flat, that's the minor third, and a D flat, that's the minor sixth. So, oh gosh, I hope I did that math right. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that would be right. So it would be because you changed to the Lydian mode. So a Lydian mode with a flat sixth and a flat third, which is a Lydian mode with a D flat and an A flat, would be an F snake charmer scale. And that's a way of saying the snake charmer scale, and with flat notes rather than sharp notes, because you can do it both ways. Okay, and then the last thing I want to talk about within the snake charmer scale stuff is the fifth mode of the snake charmer scale, which I call Gothic major. Now, Gothic major there's two ways of looking at Gothic major, and it also can be thought of as flats, and it can be thought of as sharps. The Gothic major scale is the fifth mode of a snake charmer scale. So let's say you're in a harmonic minor or a snake charmer scale. You could say that the mode of an A snake charmer scale starting on E would be a Gothic major scale, and that's one way of looking at it. So if you have an E would be Phrygian mode, and if you start out with a natural Phrygian mode, you'd have to alter it twice to make it a Gothic major scale. First of all, in A harmonic minor, you have a G sharp, so you have to have a G sharp added to the E Phrygian, and that makes a major third. Secondly, because here's an ambulance. I swear that they make those things just loud enough to hurt your hearing and just quiet enough that people will tolerate it. I don't like them. I have to poke my ears. Sorry about that. So if you're an E Gothic major, you start. That's a fifth mode of a snake charmer scale. So you have the G sharp. That makes the A Aeolian mode into a harmonic minor mode. So you have a G sharp as well in the E harmonic major. That's the major third of the E harmonic major. But then I said you have to have a sharp 4 in your harmonic minor scale. So in A harmonic minor, to make it a snake charmer scale, you have to have a D sharp, and the D sharp in E Phrygian is the major seventh. So if you start with an E Phrygian, to make it an E Gothic major, you sharp the seventh and the third, which gives you a D sharp and a G sharp. So an E Phrygian mode with a D sharp and a G sharp is an E Gothic major scale. But there's one more way of looking at it, and that's with flats. You got to do that too. So here we go. I said that an F Lydian mode with a flatted third and a flatted sixth makes an F snake charmer scale. So the fifth mode of that would be C, and that would be the fifth mode and an F snake charmer scale would make a C Gothic major scale. But if you have a C, starting with the C Ionian mode, which is also major scale, I'll say a C Ionian mode, to make it C Gothic major, in the F, I said you had to have a flat third, which makes A flat, and in C, let me think here. A flat. In C, the A flat, make sure I got this right here. A flat would be a flatted 6. So that would make, so far, a C harmonic major scale. But then the other note you have to do with the F Lydian mode to make it F snake charmer scale is flat the 6th, and that's a D flat. So the next thing you have to do with a C Ionian mode to make it C Gothic major is have a D flat, which is the flatted second. So there you have it. A C Ionian mode with a flat 6, which is A flat, and a flat second, which is D flat, is a Gothic major scale, which is the fifth mode of an F snake charmer scale. So that's also a beautiful way of looking. That's also a beautiful scale, shape and sound. It's called double harmonic a lot in books, and stuff like that. They call it double harmonic because it has 2 augmented seconds. So thanks, Biz, for the $2. I just liked it. I think that maybe makes it register, because I've had money given before where I don't say anything and it never shows up. But maybe since I liked it, give it a heart. Maybe that'll show up. Thank you, Biz, for $2. I appreciate it. So if you go back over this lesson, as chopped up as it may sound, it's all correct, because I processed all the info I said, and it's all there if you want to process it, go over it over and over. I did say it correctly. To recap, you can think of a snake charmer scale is a harmonic minor scale with a raised 4, which the fifth mode of which is either a Phrygian mode with a flatted, a Phrygian mode with a raised 7th and raised 3rd, which is major 7th and major 3rd, or you can think of it as an Ionian mode with a flatted 6th and a flatted 2nd, or the flatted 2nd can be called flatted 9th. Anyway, but I say flatted 2nd. Love you guys. Peace. Rock and roll.